A record 125 international players are playing in the NBA to start this season, representing 40 countries and territories across 6 continents. Canada is the most represented with 26 players and France second at 14. And all 30 teams have at least one player born from outside of the United States. The greatest basketball league in the world is truly that now, a league of the world's best basketball players. In fact, the last 5 NBA MVPs have all been international players, and perhaps another name on our list could be crowned the best player in the world yet again. Welcome to NBA Swish, and here is our top 10 international players in the NBA right now. So why not kick things off with the biggest name in basketball right now? Number 10, Victor Wembanyama. We know he should have been higher on this list, or maybe shouldn't have even been on it. Honestly, you could swing either way here. I personally don't believe in putting rookies on a top 10 list before they've yet to prove themselves over the course of a season, but the 7'4" French phenom is different. We haven't seen this much hype around a player entering the league since LeBron. For that alone, if we are measuring this on overall impact, he deserves a spot in the top 10. And based on that, he should be at the top of this list in 4 to 5 years tops. This could go either way still though. We saw tons of hype around Zion Williamson entering the league, and although Zion is far from being a bust, he certainly hasn't changed the game like how some might have thought in 2019. But because Wemby showed out so well in the preseason, and due to the immense potential he has, I think number 10 is fine for now. Next up, number 9, Lowry Markkanen. Another shooting big makes the list. Although not quite as big as Wemby, Lowry has shown he can shoot with the best of them. Nicknamed the Finisher, the Finnish big put up 25.6 points per game on 50% from the field and nearly 40% from 3 last season. Those are absurd numbers for a guy his size. Drafted in 2017, Lowry only recently came into his own in the league, having bounced around from Chicago to Cleveland and now finally in Utah, where he earned his first All-Star selection and won the Most Improved Player award. We swear this whole list isn't just talented big guys, but this one is. Number 8, Damonte Sabonis. The son of a Hall of Fame player and now 3-time NBA All-Star himself, Damonte Sabonis is proving to be a formidable big in Sacramento. This one is a little bit tricky though, because Sabonis was actually born in Portland, Oregon, but he holds a dual Lithuanian citizenship. And I'm gonna keep him on this list because his mother, father, and siblings were all born in Lithuania and he plays for the Lithuanian national team. Sabonis is the 1B to De'Aaron Fox's 1A in Sacktown, or vice versa, however you want to look at it. They are a potent 1-2 punch, and his rebounding and especially playmaking game is really the engine that makes the Kings a feared team in the West, something most NBA fans have never once said in the history of ever. Alright, see, I told you this list wasn't just going to be gigantic shooting big men. Number 7, the Blue Arrow, Jamal Murray. Born in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada, Murray is now a world champion alongside another international player I'm sure you can guess is also on this list. We'll save him for later though. Jamal has had somewhat of a fairy tale career thus far, from being drafted in the first round by the Denver Nuggets in 2016, to going full on Bubble Murray in 2020, to a devastating ACL tear in 2021, and then finally battling back to become world champion in 2023. Jamal is a player that is tough not to root for. He may not be considered a truly elite point guard yet, playoffs not included, but we don't think he's hit his ceiling either. Coming in at number 6, the lone Australian on our list, Kyrie Irving. Ankle taker, Kyrazzle Dazzle, Kyridiculous, Mr. Overtime, and Uncle Drew are just a few of this ball-handling wizard's numerous nicknames. Kyrie might not have found much team success over the last few years since winning his sole championship in 2016 with LeBron in Cleveland, but the man's accolades are undeniable. He's an 8-time All-Star, 50-40-90 club member, Rookie of the Year, number 1 overall draft pick, 3-point contest champion, and FIBA World Cup MVP, just to name a few. Kyrie's also regarded as one of the greatest ball handlers in the history of the game. And now that he's found a solid running mate with another name on this list down in Dallas, we think he'll be adding to his list of achievements quite soon. And look at that, another small guy, if you consider 6'6" small. Number 5, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. SGA might not have the achievements Kyrie does, but if we were building a team for the future today, we'd take the Canadian-born driving machine. Shai just nabbed his first All-Star appearance last season and led Team Canada to a bronze medal at the 2023 FIBA World Cup. And it's not necessarily that we think SGA is a more talented player than Kyrie, but that he has youth and a more explosive skill set that you could build the OKC team around for years to come. Shai, at this point, is a legit MVP candidate every single season now. His 31.4 points per game on over 50% shooting with 4.5 assists prove that. We're sure the Clippers, who traded SGA for Paul George in 2019, are wishing they could have that decision back. All right, here we go. And now a pick that is sure to get the comments stirred up. Number 4, Joel Embiid. I'm sure there are some of you out there thinking, how in the hell does the reigning league MVP not even make the top 3? Well, because regular season Joel Embiid and postseason Joel Embiid are not the same person. Last year, the Cameroonian juggernaut put down 33.1 points, 4.2 assists, and 10.2 rebounds per game while looking like an absolute unit in the paint on both offense and defense, and could even hurt you on the outside. Absolutely terrifying and deserving of an MVP award. However, in the postseason, while still defensively strong, Embiid dropped off to 23 points, 2.7 assists, and 9 rebounds per game. And in the elimination game against the Celtics in the East Semis last season, he put up a paltry 15, 1, and 8. Embiid is a monster, no doubt about that. But the best players get better when it matters most, and Embiid hasn't proven he can do that yet. Now, who did crack the top 3 in his place? None other than number 3, Luka Donic. Yes, alright, I know I harped on Embiid for a lack of playoff success, and I know Luka hasn't had a ton either, but Luka has made it to a conference finals, something Embiid has yet to do. And it's not just that, I think the Slovenian-born triple-double machine might be more valuable to his team overall. He's only been in the league for a full 5 seasons, and he's averaged nearly a triple-double in that time. Not to mention his supporting cast, minus the addition of Kyrie Irving last season, has been largely non-existent. The man does it all because he has to do it all. Sure, Jalen Brunson, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Kristaps Porzingis were all there in 2022 when they made it to the Western Conference Finals. But you could argue all of those players only hit their primes after leaving Dallas. And plus, no one in their right mind is talking about trading Luka from Dallas. The same can't be said for Joel in Philly. And now for our final 2. These Goliaths probably won't surprise anyone, but coming in at the runner-up spot, number 2, the Greek Freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. You don't get a nickname like that for nothing. Giannis is hands down the best two-way player the game has right now. No questions about it. His combination of size, athleticism, and skill is an absolute matchup nightmare. He's practically unguardable. The 2-time MVP and 1-time NBA champ could easily flip to the number 1 spot depending on how the season goes. And now that Giannis has one of the best point guards in the league in Damian Lillard as his number 2, we expect defenses to have to soften up on him and let the Freak do what the Freak wants. And now finally, of course, that leaves the one and only Nikola Jokic to take the number 1 spot. And we don't mean of just the international players. No, the Joker is the best basketball player in the world right now. Full stop. Another 2-time MVP and 1-time NBA champ, Jokic is a brand unto himself. Whereas we've seen dominant physical bigs and deep shooting stretch bigs, Jokic is a passing big who makes the game his own. His playmaking skill set is so unique. We might not have ever seen anything like it before. The closest comparison we have is Larry Bird. And even then, when you look at the numbers, it's not even really close. Aside from the symphony of passing, the Serbian big man can also score and rebound, as evidenced by averaging nearly a triple-double on the season last year and throughout the playoffs. And the best part is, he's only 28 on a young team. As long as horse racing doesn't become his new favorite sport, we see the Joker dominating the game of basketball for many, many more years to come, and that is a good thing. Some honorable mentions go out to Pascal Siakam and OG Anunoby holding it down in the north, Kristaps Porzingis going to a contender, Andrew Wiggins playing some hard D in the Bay, and Rudy Gobert and Steven Adams continuing to be timeless defensive madmen. Also, some rising international names to watch out for this season that we think could make a jump are Josh Giddey in OKC, Alperen Şengün in Houston, and Franz Wagner in Orlando. Now, we know this list is going to have some controversial picks in there, so just let us know how we did in the comments below. Who did we miss? Who should have been higher? Or who should have been lower? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.